Lamb, assistant head coach, BYU Football. Ed, nice to have you back in Studio B.
What's up, Ed?
Great to be here. Thanks, guys.
We know that you wanted to kick off your holiday season like this, right?
There's nothing better than being right here with you two guys
That's a lot.
on early signing day.
On
You
early
know
signing
it's true.
Do you like the early signing day? We're talking about it. It's a little different, right?
I like the early, but I mean, I like you guys. I collected one of these on the way in.
He's got
to
the autographed
studio,
picture.
right? Yeah. I don't know how big the stack was earlier in the day.
I think it was shorter.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was added to.
It was added
brought
to,
them back. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you've got that. That's a stocking stuffer for sure.
You open this up. Oh man.
Yeah,
I'd rather have an orange than this.
put that in your wife's stocking. It'd be a
yeah.
great Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Give me
She'll
some
love me
coal,
for that.
please.
We're excited about the 13 new guys joining BYU football, and we have broken it up offense and defense. Elias Tuiaki's going to talk about his defensive guys, but we'll go to the offensive side of the ball with you and talk about, first of all, Campbell Barrington. His brother Clark is one of the 13 return missionaries that will join BYU football. He's going on a mission soon, but from what we can tell, you're really excited about this guy.
Oh yeah, Campbell's. I don't know if you've seen clips yet or how the preparation for those highlight clips go, but this guy is a mauler. He finishes blocks. He just gets after people, and he's been doing it for years now. So, but he's also been very involved in BYU, and we don't pay much attention to what other offers guys have, but this is a guy that I feel like could go and be a immediate impact player for us or anyone else.
Yeah, he was on the radar early, right?
He was, yeah, and of course was signing his brother, and we knew about him early, got a chance to visit with him early. It's a great thing when siblings come on that official visit, and we can also start to recruit them.
Let's talk about a tweet that was sent in by @ArtDirectorBYU, because you guys have signed a bunch of offensive 5-0 linemen. You have some in the missionaries. If you get really excited for offensive linemen signing up to play football, man, is BYU signing day been great for you, right? It's an offensive line kind of day.
It should, and it's not too far off the numbers that should happen. You figure you've got somewhere between 22 and 25 guys to sign every year. That's about one per position, and there are 5 offensive line positions. So I think most of the time you want to target in that realm.
Next guy, Stacey Connor, the quarterback, and we've chronicled this earlier today. We brought it up with Kalani Sitake, but to our knowledge, there's not been an African American quarterback at BYU. Now you have Jaron Hall, and here's Stacey Connor. This is great for the program.
Oh, he's African American?
Yes.
I'm colorblind, so I'll take your word for it. Yeah.
It is a progressive move for BYU. I love it.
Stacey Connor out of Wiley, Texas.
His story is
He's
great.
an amazing quarterback.
Late
Yeah.
bloomer too.
Oh, he's fantastic. Yeah. We found out about him a little late. Our worst fear is to have an LDS player out there that would like to be at BYU that we don't know about, that's really talented, and that's Stacey. And one of the things that I like best about him is, we've talked about this before, but development potential to me is a category that I rate so much higher than skill or grit or toughness or what school they play for or how many victories they've had. And I love this guy's upside. I love his development potential.
He grew 8 inches in the last 2 years. I mean, when the film came out on him first, he was 5'9". Now he's 6'5".
Yes, full 6'5", 10.5 hand size. Don't know what color he is, but this is a legitimate quarterback prospect with a ton of upside.
Wow.
The color is now BYU blue.
That is correct.
Royal or Navy?
That's right. Yes, both. Yes. Braden Casper, wide receiver, announced about half an hour ago. One of the later in the day, but this guy's a baller.
Yes, yeah. Braden, he came to our camp and absolutely dominated. We love about him his competitiveness. He's a guy that could play a number of different positions. Probably, O-line, D-line, he'd have to gain a lot of weight and all that. But I think he could develop into any other position. We don't plan to play him at any other position, but his competitiveness, the way he fights for the ball when the ball's in the air, he was very impressive at camp, and I've loved getting to know him. Comes to almost every home game, and he's right there with a smile, and I can't wait to be a Cougar.
Now, he said his dream school was BYU.
Right.
And now he's here.
And we enjoy the process of recruiting and convincing guys that this is their dream school and where their dreams can come true, but it's a pleasure to coach those guys that grow up Cougar fans.
Yeah, I really liked the fact that Jaron brought up that he was an impact player on a largely running high school football team.
18 touchdowns in 2 years, pretty good.
Yeah, almost 1,000 yards this year.
There you go. Harris LaChance, offensive lineman, another one of those 5 offensive linemen.
and a poster child for what a mission can do. I took part in recruiting him to Southern Utah, and he ended up signing initially at Utah State, but out on his mission decided that BYU would be the right place for him. But I mean, when he called, he sounded like a different guy, a more mature guy, and I could tell right away that this was the place for him, and he knew that correctly. He was correct. And really, I'm looking forward to working with him. We asked him to gain about 60 pounds from the time he returned from his mission. He's already done about 45 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Really impressive specimen.
So he's listed at 6'8", 275. 275 is the 40-pound increase?
Yeah, and we heard he might be 290 now.
He's 289 right now. He's ready to go.
Like he just texted you, he's 289 after dinner?
We talk about these things daily. Yeah, body weight is a big deal to me. I'm not interested in caring about these guys on a personal level until I know their body weight.
Hey, Coach, great to talk to you. How much do you weigh? 289? Okay, we can continue the conversation.
We all have our priorities.
Let's stay on the offensive line with Tyson Lewis, a guy that for a while was under the radar, played at Weber High School, and he came to your camp and really put on a show.
Yes, absolutely. And another guy that's growing as we speak. We had him at our camp at 6'3". I looked him eye to eye just 4 days ago, and he's a full 6'4" or taller. He was taller than I am, and he's gaining weight, and it's been nice. You know, there's some flux on our staff, as everybody knows, and Mike Empey's been critical in recruiting this offensive line class. And that's a concern for all these guys, has been a concern. But he was the quickest to answer when I started to talk about the coaching. He said, you know, almost a challenge to me, like, Coach, I'm really not coming to BYU for the coaches. And he's kind of pointing at me. I'm coming to BYU for what BYU offers. And he said, I hope you're there. I had a chance to coach his brother at Southern Utah, and so I know the family and know Tyson. He's a great player, and he's going to be really good. We
were told you went to a Lone Peak basketball game recently. Connor Pay ran across the court, yelled at you, Jeff Grimes, offensive lineman's dream, and then sprinted back. True story?
It's pretty close to that. Yeah, he was excited. He was visibly excited about it, and I was excited for that because we go in not really sure what we're going to talk about, and we have our talking points. And hey, have you heard about Jeff Grimes? Was how I was planning on opening it.
You already know. He knows. That's awesome.
Up next is Jacob Smith as we continue this offensive line wheel of fun with Ed Lamb on BYU Sports Nation. What do you like most about Jacob Smith, other than the fact that he's 6'6", 305 out of high school?
Yeah, you said other than that fact. That's where I was going to go. I love his development potential. He's a monster. He's huge. But another guy that very early on committed to us, wanted to be a Cougar, excited about being a Cougar.
Ripped from the heart of Big Ten country.
That's right, yeah, and had a lot of options in that area, and could have opened up his recruiting way earlier, and had a lot more options. So, but he is a guy. You know, some of these guys I mentioned, they can come in right now and help us, and he may do that. But he's also a guy that I know 3 or 4 years from now, the difference between what he represents today and what he will be 3 or 4 years from now. There's still so much upside with that big frame.
It was mentioned that he was recruited by LSU, so I wondered if Jeff Grimes had contacted him or if that was someone else from LSU, but he was in the mix for a lot of people. Last but not least, Ben Tuipulotu, Peter and Mo's son, tight end, his older brother Hank, we talked about.
Yep,
the last offensive guy here.
Another one of our legacy guys, and as you mentioned the legacy right there, so mom and dad and older brother. And so Ben plays wide receiver and safety at his high school. We see him growing a lot bigger, and we anticipate that he'll probably play one of our mid positions, tight end, linebacker. Probably linebacker right now is what we're thinking the most. But a lot of versatility for him. He could go a lot of different positions. Another one of those guys that really we want to get our hands on, and we want to work with him and set those target body weights and see how good we can help him get.
I love the smile that comes across your face when you say body weights.
Has anyone smiled larger at that sentence ever than Ed Lamb? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So funny. Ed, great to talk to you, man. That's a lot of information to put out there in not a lot of time. So nice.
You guys make it easy. You're pros.
Hey,
thanks.
Well, you're welcome for the stocking stuffer, and we appreciate you coming in, Ed.
Yeah, thanks.
We'll get you about 100 more of those if you want.
Right on. Okay, thanks, Ed.
He's out. He's gone.
He doesn't have time for this.
He's gone, man.
He's got to get people signed in February. Let's go.